video. Hey, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope you guys are having a great evening. It is Thirsty Thursday, and of course, we're always talking about the Cowboys. Talking about a team that doesn't do shit. And I'm going to say the Cowboys had a massive mistake here. I mean, massive. This is huge mistake. And it's funny because I know I'm in my basement, not my mama's basement. I'm in my basement. I know I'm not a writer or traditional media or sports media. I don't work for ESPN. I'm not a former NFL player. I don't scream louder than everybody else. Lord knows Philly 500 screams louder than I do. But from time to time, I do get some shit right, and from time to time, I do know a few people. And one of the things that I have wanted, and I said, go get these guys. One was Demario Davis, who was right there when he was a free agent. And that would have been an incredible linebacker for us because, that guy became the heart and soul of the New Orleans Saints and didn't miss a single game. Could you imagine if we had gotten a guy like Demario Davis? Because the reality is, as much money as we paid Jalen Smith is about what Demario Davis was making a year. We look at these things and say, oh, this guy's too much money. A guy that I said also that I really and truly wanted was Calais Campbell when he left the Arizona Cardinals. And I remember people saying, oh, man, that guy only gets 7 or 8 sacks a season, man. He's too expensive. He's too old. And that first year he was in Jacksonville, he was the runner-up defensive MVP, had like 14 and a half sacks. Yeah, that guy. And he's also been an NFL Man of the Year. And after Jacksonville, he played at Baltimore for a few years. And then went to Atlanta last year. And even at Atlanta last year, he's not a young man. He's not a spring chicken. But even at Atlanta last year, he had 6.5 sacks, I believe it was. Playing as a role player, big guy, great leader, NFL Man of the Year, and a guy who been a free agent this offseason. And when you look at the Dallas Cowboys and you think about their issues, running the football and stopping the run, you can blame the quarterback all you want. But when you can't stop guys on the run, when you can't run the football, it doesn't matter what quarterback you have. It just doesn't. Quarterback, you got to have a good quarterback. I'm not going to lie and say that you can have a bum. But you also got to have some good defensive linemen. And we're putting a lot of stock in Mozzie Smith. And the thing is I don't know what the contract is for Calais Campbell for this year. I'll be interested to see if it's something like $3 million. I'm going to literally just lose my freaking mind. But see, if you're talking about going all in and trying to be still kind of frugal, I understand that. I understand you've got money issues because you don't know how to manage the cap. And, you keep waiting and waiting and waiting till the last minute. Other teams are realizing it's better for us to pay the player before their contract ends so we can use those extra years to kind of hide some of that money and make it advantageous for us to get other players. Cowboys wait till the end of every contract where they're taking the biggest hits. They end up signing contracts to guys who aren't performing or are injured. It doesn't, I wish I could make it make sense. But Calais Campbell, he signed with the Miami Dolphins. And for him, that's good because he ended up having a home in Jacksonville for about 3 years. Miami's not that far away. Mhm. He went to the U. So for him, that's a no-brainer. That's a spot to be at, and that's a team that's definitely trying to do something. I'm not going to say they succeed, but you can say they're kind of trying to bring in talent to make a winner. And here we are with the Dallas Cowboys sitting here doing absolutely positively nothing. And to me, that is a massive mistake on a veteran that could definitely have helped this defense. Some days it's just hard to be a Cowboy fan. And today, seeing Trevor Lawrence get 35 million. Trevor Lawrence. And I don't want to hear that, well, he's a great quarterback. And because he's 1-1 in the playoffs. 1-1 in the playoffs. In fact, his team, just like the Eagles, collapsed. They had the opportunity to be the 1 seed at one point during the season last year and fell off the earth. In his playoff win, they had 4 turnovers in the first quarter. They came back, and of course, they beat another one of those young guns that y'all say is worth it. Justin Herbert. Yeah, Justin Herbert, who has played in one playoff game and blew a game they were up 27-0. And that guy is getting like 53 million. Trevor Lawrence is now 55 with Joe Burrow. Lamar Jackson is like 52.5, and he's 2-4 in the playoffs. So I'm sitting here. Jalen Hurts is 51, and he's 2-3 in the playoffs. So I don't want to hear all this stuff that, well, Dak don't deserve to be paid. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It's bullshit. Especially when you sit here and you look and say, well, for Tua, let's go out and get a Cedric Wilson. Let's go out and get a Jalen Waddle. Let's go out and get a Tariq Hill and try and do everything we can to help our quarterback. And not Washington, the Eagles. Hey, we're not good at drafting wide receivers. Let's go out and get a guy. Let's help him. Let's make sure we get the best offensive line in football. Let's continue to try and get more and more running backs and things to try and help support our quarterback. I can't honestly say the Cowboys, since going out and getting Amari Cooper, have done much to try and help their quarterback out or help themselves to get closer to a Super Bowl. Yeah. This is one of those nights that I feel like I could cry. I'm Mark Holmes. I appreciate you. Peace.